I put my headset? I'll be right back. Gotta find my headset. Okay, there we go. Alright. Got RL craft on here now? Huh. New add-ons. Let's see, what do we got? I haven't been on here in a minute. Recently updated. A new horror add-on. Cool. Alchemy. Tech. Factory. Wow, that looks cool. Let's see what this is all about. That looks cool. Looks really cool. I already got a mech machine add-on though. Let's see, what do we got? Anything cool? And those aren't really that scary looking. Horror weapons? I don't know what that is. Doors. That was creepy. Another horror. Doesn't look very good. Creepy. Dark Harvest. Best sellers, huh? Free, here we go. See if they got any cool new free ones. I always like to claim them, just in case if they go on to where you have to actually pay for them. Probably not that cool. Adventures, what is this? Sidekicks. Find ore, locate structures, offer quest. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's do that. Download that. See what this is all about. I'm gonna wait a minute before I start talking about cryptids and stuff, since No one's here yet. Featured. Oh, what is this? It's kind of cool looking. Got a crane. That's cool. Okay. Let's make a new world. Considering I have not been on in a while. Alright, survival, of course. Has to be survival. You know, adjust my mic, because that's kind of in my way. There we go. Okay. I don't know. I have so many worlds that are titled horror, so I gotta do something a little different. Definitely misspelled that, but whatever. I don't care. Yeah, let's turn on keep inventory so I don't get pissed off. Nobody's gonna be playing with me on this, but whatever. Sure, I kind of like how that looks with stuff. Combine ores, of course. Basic machinery. Tinker's construct, I want to do the full thing. SCP, of course. Dwellers, of course. Of course, not that one. Full Tinker's construct. Structures. XP crystals. I thought I already activated that. Alright. Downloading. How long? It's been almost 10 minutes. I'd like to try to give it a few more minutes before I start telling these stories. So, gonna be going over La Llorona, Texas Goatman, Texas Chupacabra, Houston Batman, Horizon City Monster, Lechuza, Campus Cat, and the Bear King of Marble Falls. So we got a few. I made a script, and it should last between 30 and 60 minutes, depending on how much I get distracted. Oh man. Watched the new Happy Gilmore today. Happy Gilmore 2. It's pretty good. I think it was Adam Sandler's best movie in a while. Pretty good. Even my wife, who didn't like the first one, liked it. Which is saying something. Because she doesn't care for really any of his movies. Alright. Almost done downloading. This is a big guy. There we go. Alright. Let's see, what else do we want? I don't remember what this is. Backpack. Okay. I do not like the backpack add-on. It is annoying. Adidas Adventure add-on. Oh, this is okay. Alright, I think that's everything. Don't need that since I got keep inventory. This one has a light, so we'll do that one. Has a little lantern you can carry around, which is nice. I'm not gonna mess with that. Nah, I won't do poisonous potato. Alright, let's go. I don't care. I haven't played, I don't think, since they added the rideable ghasts. Alright, got my script pulled up, so I'm ready hopefully when some people get in. I love the aesthetic of that one add-on. I like how it makes them all look. I need a mouse pad. That's what I need. Well, that's moving around on me. I can't use that. I need a book or something. But I don't read no damn books. Oh. I guess this is Adidas, dude. Oh. What the? Oh. Oh, I added the wrong... I added one of the wrong. Let's save and quit that real quick. Because I added... Oh, no, I wanted to edit. Oh, dang it. I had one of the wrong add-ons. How do I... dang it. I can't hit B. Now I gotta watch the loading screen again. I had the one with the damn blind cats, and they're so annoying. Because they just spawn out of nowhere constantly. There's too many of those creatures. Gotta remember which one it is, so. Haven't played any of these in a long time. I really need to start putting out announcements earlier in the day of what I'm going to be covering. I think next stream I might not be able to stream tomorrow we'll see what happens if I'm able to get home. But alright, let's see. What if I right click? What if I do this? Ah, back to the way it used to be. Alright. Resource packs. Which one was it? I think it was this one. I mean, I haven't done anything yet. Okay, yeah. That looks right. Looks spectral. What's up, Jack? What did you type? I don't know what that is. It's a song? Yep, just as I thought. I can't read those lyrics, so I don't know what it means. What does it mean? Meaning. In English, dumb Google. What is your name? Are you asking me what my name is, or are you just saying the song? Gideon, if that's what you're asking. If not, I don't know what that is. Alright, let's see what we got. Structures. There's the dwellers. Alright, I already got a village, that's nice. Let's go over there real quick. So what happens if I talk to him? Show ores? Oh, what did that do? I don't know what that did. Oh, there's a structure over here too. See what's in here real quick. Oh, I got some stuff. Sci-fi medkit. Anything in these? Nope. That's not a bad spawn. This is a nice little world. I like it. Alright. Let's get on over to this village. Check this out. I did see that there's going to be a new add-on, or not add-on, a new update with a little guy that will actually organize your stuff for you. That's going to be sweet. I'm going to love that. I am not good at organizing. Oh, and there's a little portal over there too. Ruined portal. Let's see what's over here in this portal. Should be a chest. Should have made pickaxes in that, or an axe when I was over there. Since there's a crafting table, but whatever. It'll be fine. Should have taken that crafting bench too. Got some gold blocks. That is not what I meant to click. Some melons, some iron nuggets. So not too bad. Alright, let's go back over to this village, check this out, get some food. Really? We got some berry bushes over there too? And I can't sprint no more. I'm too hungry. This little village. Got an iron golem though. Where's all their hay bales? Hey, that's rude. That SCP's attacking them. Let's see if there's anything in these. Here we go. Here's a chest. Bunch of potatoes. A bundle. How do I use it? Oh, you can only... Okay, I see. It's kind of a waste. That's if you can upgrade it. See how it can only hold one item. It itself takes an item slot. What is this? Waste. Yeah, this village don't got much of anything. But it's got villagers, so. And it's got a crafting table. Just what I need. Alright. Make some sticks. Make a pick right quick. Get some cobble. Oh, some copper. That copper update will be nice. Alright. Get that out of my inventory, I don't need it. And I pick it right back up. That's cool. Get out of my inventory, I don't want you. Alright, let's throw some stuff in here for now. I take that bread, I need that to eat. Just throw all this stuff in there. Don't need it right now. Take the wood though. Give me that back. No, I'm out of space in here. Take the apples. Throw that in there. Alright. No, I should actually take the... Let's take this with me. It's over here, actually. Oh, dang it. Oh, no. I should have set my spawn point. That's a far drop down there. Okay. Okay, how long have I been? Alright, almost at 30-minute mark, so I'm about to start my stories. Oh, what's up, brother? Alright, cool. I'm gonna give it another 2 minutes to the 30-minute mark, and then we'll start talking. I don't know how loud that is for y'all. It's probably kind of loud. I'm gonna turn it down. Audio. Turn it down to 50, I think. I think that's a little bit better. How did I pick back up the wooden pickaxe? This fog is so dense. Oh, I just got a haste or something on my pick. It's kind of cool. I don't know what add-on gave me that. Oh, here we go. Here's some coal. And I think that's actually the goat man, which, funny enough, that's what we're talking about today. Make some torches. I think I'm gonna get this coal and then we'll start talking about some okay, I think that's pretty loud. That's pretty loud to me. So that might be too loud. Let's turn that down. It's way too loud. Let's see if that helped. Yeah, I think that helped. Alright. Yep, we're at the 30-minute mark. So let's start talking about the different Texas cryptids. So first we're going to talk about the Llorona. This one, so the ones we're all going over is the Llorona, the Texas Goatman, the Chupacabra, the Houston Batman, the Houston or Horizon City Monster, La Lechuza, the Campus Cat, and the Mysterious Bear King of Marble Falls. So we're gonna start with La Llorona. This one is this one's creepy, more so than anything. So it's also known as the Weeping Woman, and it is basically a betrayal story, because how the legend goes is she was a beautiful woman, and in a fit of rage, she drowned her children in a river, which is usually considered the Rio Grande River. And then after she realized what she did, she killed herself in the water also. And so now, due to what she did, she is cursed to wander for eternity, wander the earth, searching for her lost children. And if you're in the right areas, you can actually hear her wailing whenever you're near water, certain parts of water, primarily around the Rio Grande. And if you go to the wailing, if you go to where she's crying at, she will attack you and she will drag you into the water with her. So it's primarily a supernatural story. So she likes to lure children in, hoping that they're her children, when in reality they're not, because her children are dead, right? And so this is primarily to warn children not to get too close to the water, right? So I have a witness account. In 2018, a San Antonio resident named Maria shared her story on a local forum. She was walking near the San Antonio River at dusk when she heard a woman sobbing. Thinking someone was in distress, she followed the sound only to find the riverbank empty. The cries grew louder, coming from within the water. Maria said it wasn't human. It was like the river itself was crying. She fled when she saw a shadowy figure in a white glide across the water's surface, her heart pounding as the wails followed her home. Another account from in the 90s in Brownsville, where a fisherman claimed he saw a woman in a flowing dress standing in the Rio Grande, her face obscured. When he called out, she vanished, but her cries still lingered for hours. So is she a ghost or a warning, right? Is she... Because there are true stories of stuff like this happening, of mothers sadly killing their children in this kind of manner. So this could have been a true story, like many stories grounded, starts in reality and then expanded upon, right? So that's pretty much the quick version of it. There's not too many witnesses with this one because I mean, it's more so of a scary story to keep children from wandering into the water when they shouldn't be going in the water, right? So, the next thing we're going to talk about is the Texas Goat Man. Now, this one is pretty fun, because like they have a whole show series about this, and of people trying to chase it down, and speaking of which, that's probably the Goat Man himself. Oh, nope, that's a cave dweller, which means I am dead. Oh my gosh, that was close. Alright, well, while we wait for him to leave. Alright, so the Texas Goat Man. If you go to the old iron bridge in Denton, Texas, known as Old Alton Bridge, or more famously known as Goatman's Bridge, the Texas Goat Man is a dark figure tied in a gruesome tale from the 30s. How the story goes, Oscar Washburn, he was a successful African American and a goat farmer. He lived near the bridge. His prosperity drew the KKK members did not like a successful African American, right? So they lynched him from this particular bridge. So when they looked after they threw him over the bridge in the noose, when they looked over the edge, the noose was empty. So nobody was hanging from the noose. And they couldn't find Washburn, Oscar. So the KKK members, the Klansmen, they were upset about this, so they ended up killing his whole family. So after they killed his whole family, the Goat Man starts appearing around the bridge. He is said to be half man and half goat. So, in 2015, a group of teenagers exploring the bridge at night reported their experience on YouTube. They claimed their car stalled as they approached the bridge, and they heard hoofbeats on the bridge. One of them, Jake, said, "We saw glowing eyes in the woods, too big to be a deer. Then something heavy hit the car roof, like it jumped from above. They sped off, but later found deep scratches on the vehicle." Another, from 2020, described a camping trip near the bridge. They heard guttural growls and saw a figure with a human torso but goat-like legs lurking in the trees. The group packed up and left before dawn. So this adds, so this is basically a vengeful spirit, right? Like, how the story goes is he's trying to get revenge for his family and him, because of what these people did to him and his family. And it just adds to him being a goat farmer, right? And how what happened to him because he is successful, and certain people don't like that. So they decide to kill him. So, oh, there's 5 iron. Oh, I bet the iron golem died. So on to the next one. The Texas Chupacabra, also known as the goat sucker, right? He primarily terrorized ranches in Texas, in the 90s. He was first reported in Puerto Rico in 95. So this is not just Texas. This is also other parts of like Latin America. This adds a lot of stories from Mexico and a bunch of different stuff, not just from Texas with this one. So, in 95, there was a creature, and it was blamed for attacking livestock, leaving them drained of blood with particular puncture wounds. And then in Texas, there's multiple different descriptions. Some say it's a reptilian beast with spikes down its back. Others say it's a hairless dog. So in 2004, a rancher in Elmdorf, Texas, found several goats dead, each with 3 puncture wounds and no blood. He told local news it wasn't coyotes. The wounds were too clean, and there was no mess, no tracks. A taxidermied Texas blue dog from Cuero, displayed at the Chupacabra Information Center, was later identified as a coyote with mange, but locals still swear it was something else. So they ended up finding the dog that apparently attacked their livestock, and they ended up somebody ended up stuffing it right at taxidermy, and it was just mange, which is like rabies. So that is one excuse for this, right? And then in 2019, a Houston man captured a photo near Richmond and Highway 6 of a hairless creature. He told the news, ABC 7, it moved like no dog I've ever seen, too fast and low to the ground. People just try to blame this on a mangy coyote, but the image made a lot of people speculate that, no, this was real. This is actually a chupacabra. So people like Benjamin Radford, he is a skeptic. He believes that it's just manged dogs and coyotes that are doing this, not an actual chupacabra. That's what he thinks. And a lot of skeptics blame the 1995 film Species for this. But yeah, that's pretty much like the whole thing with the chupacabra. The odd thing is if it's a dog or a coyote, even if it has mange, it wouldn't leave those type of puncture marks. It would have, and it wouldn't have just like sucked the blood like that. It would have devoured the livestock instead of just killing it. Now, dogs do kill for fun on occasion, but they have more teeth than 3, right? So it doesn't make too much sense for there to only be 3 puncture wounds, right? That just doesn't add up to me. So, and there's also, crazy thing is there's also creatures throughout the world that are constantly being found or discovered that were believed to be extinct or to be a myth, and turns out they were real. So, what's not to say the chupacabra is real, it's just people think it's just a dog when they see it, right? Alright. So the next one we'll talk about is the Houston Batman. I'm about to sneeze. Grab a sip of my Powerade. Okay. So the Houston Batman, it's an urban legend from 1953. On a warm June night in Houston Heights, three neighbors, Hilda Walker, Judy Myers, and Howard Phillips. Let me get to somewhere safe. I really might just... Yeah, so let's just hang out in here. Alright, so let's go through the Houston Batman. Alright, so in 1953, on a warm June night in Houston Heights, there were three neighbors, Hilda Walker, Judy Myers, and Howard Phillips. They were on a porch when a creature swooped down and perched in a pecan tree. They described a man-like figure with bat wings, glowing eyes, and a shadowy form that vanished in a flash of light. The witness account, Hilda Walker told the Houston Chronicle, "It was like something out of a nightmare, but we all saw it. It was not human." The trio's story spread, with some speculating it was an alien, others a supernatural entity. No further sightings matched this exact description, but in 2018, a Reddit user, Heights Hiker, claimed to see a winged shadow glide over a Houston park at dusk, reigniting the legend. So were they all just imagining this, right? Was it just a big bird? Or was it a real thing and it's hiding, right? Alright. On to Horizon City Monster. So this is in West Texas, where a lesser known but chilling tale from the 1970s, residents of Horizon City near El Paso reported a large bipedal creature with glowing eyes roaming the desert. Some describe it as ape-like, like a humanoid with unnatural speed. So this is kind of like a Bigfoot type thing. But the big difference is it's in West Texas, right? West Texas is more of where, if you watch a movie, right, a lot of times Texas is shown to be like a desert. They typically get that imagery from West Texas. It's, for the most part, it's flat. There's not very many trees. There are trees, but it's not like East Texas where it's forest, like Louisiana. So this one is different because all the other Bigfoots take place in like forests or mountains, right? Alright, so in 1975, a Horizon City teenager named Carlos M. told police he saw a 7-foot-tall figure with red eyes while driving home at night. It ran alongside my car, keeping pace at 30 miles an hour, he said. Its face was wrong, like it was not human. Other reports of residents said that there was missing pets and strange footprints. A 2010 blog post by Desert Wanderer claimed similar sights near Horizon City's outskirts, describing a shadow figure that moved like it was gliding, not walking. So the Horizon City monster remains elusive. Other than the footprints, there's no other evidence other than some witnesses. So maybe that's proof of a Bigfoot. Alright. Next, the Chuza. This is a Mexican folklore where the Chuza, or the owl witch, it's a creature primarily in South Texas and the Rio Grande Valley. Legend says she was a witch who transformed herself into a massive owl, often 7 feet tall with a human face, to hunt or punish wrongdoers. Her chilling whistle lures victims into the night. So if you hear a whistle in the middle of the night, don't go do it. And if you hear a whistle, don't whistle back. I mean, that's um, skinwalkers. That's what they do. They'll whistle at you, or if you whistle, they're attracted to your whistle. Just don't whistle at night outside. Don't do it. In 2001, a South Texas man named Juan shared a story on a paranormal Reddit thread. At 3:30 a.m., he and his friend saw a huge bird with glowing eyes fly over their truck. He said, "We heard its wings flapping miles away. It looked at us with a woman's face. We both said, 'La lechuza,' and never spoke of it again other than on Reddit." Oh, look at that. We got an SCP out the window. Alright. In 2017, account from an El Paso woman claimed she saw a giant owl with red eyes following her home. As a teenager, her grandmother performed a cleansing ritual with an egg to ward off evil. So maybe that egg saved her. So this is primarily a warning not to do misdeeds, or else the Lechuza will come after you. Right? So be a good person. That's basically what the story is saying. Alright. Campus Cat. This one is about a ghostly feline said to haunt University of Texas in Austin. So UT, Texas Longhorns, right? Students report seeing a black cat with glowing eyes around the Blanton Museum or Littlefield Fountain, only for it to vanish. Some say it's the spirit of a cat killed on campus. Others, a guardian watching over the students. Witness account. In 2019, a UT student named Emily posted on a campus forum about seeing a cat near the tower at midnight. It stared at me, its eyes like headlights. Then it walked through a wall, she wrote. Another student, Miguel, claimed in 2022 that a cat followed him across campus, always staying just out of reach before disappearing near a dorm. So is this just a stray cat? Or is this a spirit? So, the Blanton Museum. Yeah. Yep. That's the one. So this one's just more fun. Just a nice little thing. It's funny how just probably a stray cat at night, right? It could have been a black cat, right? Like she didn't say what color the cat was. It could just walked into the dark part of next to a building and walked off around the corner, you know. But this one's a fun little one. All right. Bear King of Marble Falls. So this is gonna be the last one we talk about tonight. So this cryptic legend from Marble Falls, the Bear King, the creature rarely is documented. It's said to be a massive bear-like figure that roams the hill country, which is primarily Central Texas for you people that don't know what the hill country is. Ruling the wilderness like a monarch. Some say it's a supernatural guardian, others a remnant of a prehistoric beast. So in 2008, a hiker named Tom R. shared his story with a local newspaper. While camping near balconies, canyonlands, he heard heavy footsteps and saw a bear-like figure, taller than any black bear, standing upright. It looked at me and I felt it was sizing me up, he said. Then it walked into the trees, silent as a ghost. A 2023 X-post by @Hillcountry Hiker mentioned a similar sighting. Saw something huge near Marble Falls. Not a bear, too tall, too fast. Locals call it the Bear King. The Bear King remains a shadowy figure, blending Native American lore into modern cryptic tales. So that one's pretty fun, right? It's kind of like Bigfoot, but in Texas currently there isn't many bears. Bears are coming back to Texas, but they're just not coming back quick enough to be able to be in Marble Falls area. I don't really want to play Minecraft. So for it to be in Marble Falls, it's just a low likelihood that it's a bear. Even lower likelihood that it was actually just a bear, right? It's low likelihood of that. I mean, it could be. It could have been a black bear, but just very low likelihood of that. So, primarily these stories are to scare children from being bad or from getting too close to water or right. These stories are primarily, that's the good thing about these stories, they're like bedtime stories, right, that your parents might tell you about how not to do this, like the whole I swallowed a fly thing, right? I swallowed a fly. The old lady swallowed a fly. Oh no, I guess she'll die. She swallowed I think it went to a frog to get rid of the fly. Oh no, I think she'll die. Then she swallowed a cat to eat the frog. That swallowed that ate the fly. Oh no, I guess she'll die. She ate a dog to get rid of the cat, and so forth until she dies. So that's a tale of you should not introduce other animals to a location, right? Like you can see that many times throughout human history, where like they introduce a species from another country that has nothing to do with the location that they're being put in. And then it completely ruins the ecosystem because there's nothing to counter that animal. So then that animal becomes too invasive, right? So I'm forgetting the plant name, but in the South, there's a plant that became real popular to use in the late 1800s because it grew very, very quick. You could harvest it year round. The issue is when World War I and World War II happened, the farmers, they had to go to war. And so these plants grew unchecked. And so they completely took over the countryside, right? So that's an example of something that's not able to be in check because there's nothing that eats it when it's growing like that. I think it's used for hay. So cattle do eat it, but that's after it's dead. They don't eat it when it's growing, which is kind of strange, but whatever, because it primarily grows underground. So the only way you can get rid of it is you have to dig up the entire ground to dig out all the roots, because it grows up in one spot and then the roots grow under the ground and then pop up another spot and go down and under the ground and come up out of the soil. So yeah, these stories, that's primarily what they are. They're to scare children in doing the right thing, or they're cautionary tales, right? That's what primarily all this stuff is. Like that was a lot of the Native American stories, right? Like, trying to remember if it's a Wendigo. Yeah, I think it's a Skinwalker. Because the Wendigo was a witch. The Skinwalker. So how the story goes of the Skinwalker is if you ate another human person, like eat human flesh, then you will become a cannibal and you will crave human flesh. You will crave it out of hunger. and so you'll eat other humans, and so the whole story is a tale, and then you turn into that creature, right? So the whole story with that is it's supposed to try to keep people from eating other humans, right? Which you shouldn't need a scary story to tell you not to do that, but some people do, I guess. So a lot of these stories that's really what it's about is to help help teach children lessons, right? So yeah, so this is part one. Texas has a lot, so I don't know if I'll be able to stream tomorrow, because I'm going to haul hay. So, assuming we're able to get all the hay out of the field for this person, I might be able to get home in time to stream. I might not. It all depends on when we finish hauling the hay. So if we finish hauling hay in a timely manner, I should be able to play and stream tomorrow. And if I do, I'll either do, because the Appalachia, they have a lot of really good cryptids also. A lot of good cryptids. So, might do that one also. So I'm not sure which one, if we're going to do like a part 2 of Texas, or if we'll do a part 2 later down the line. So, not sure. I'm trying to think. Try to think of any other stories that I might have on the top of my head. Oh, so, brother, so I think, so this was like a week or 2, or maybe even 3 weeks ago, when we were talking about, so are these stories, or are conspiracy theories, are they real? I think Best Day asked that, and you said, it might not have been you, but somebody in chat said no, they're not. So something that you might not really remember because you are younger than me, cloud seeding. So I'm not blaming this, okay, on the floods, okay, or I'm not blaming the floods because of this. I think Mother Nature went extreme, more extreme than usual. I really think that's what happened. Because this does happen. This happens like every 10 years or so. A big flood happens. Like the last one I think was Halloween floods, and then there was a Thanksgiving floods. So this happens like almost every 10 years. Something like this happens. So we're probably gonna go in. Texas is probably gonna go in another drought, right? And then it's gonna get bad. We're gonna get some rain, and then just gonna get back into the drought. Just constantly be in a drought. Constantly gonna be in a water deficit. Really, that's what we should be saying, not drought, but a water deficit, which parts of the hill country, even after the floods, are still in a water deficit, believe it or not. Other parts are over. They completely recovered from the water deficit. But there are still parts of central Texas that are still in a water deficit. That's how bad the drought was before these floods. So what does Texas do is they decided, there's a company that does cloud seeding, right? It's not just Texas. They do it in other parts of the country too. But a few years ago, cloud seeding was a conspiracy. Cloud seeding was not a real thing a few years ago. And now it's just a known thing. People talk about how the day or two before the floods happened, they cloud seeded. Not in the exact county that the floods happened, but in the one of the counties touching the counties that flooded. So a lot of people are blaming that for the flooding, which, like I said, I'm not really blaming it on the flooding. Um, I I primarily blame. I mean, it doesn't help. It might have added a little bit to it, but they've been cloud seeding for a while, and nothing, at least in Texas, has happened like this since they started cloud seeding. And so cloud seeding, like I said, was originally a conspiracy, and now it's just a known thing. You can Google it, you can look at it, you can actually find the permits of that the company pulled to use or to be able to cloud seed in that region of Texas. Oh wow, I'm just gonna spawn mid game. That's cool. Okay. So that's so yeah. Get 30 critical kills. Where at? Oh, up here. I'm out of ammo already? I didn't even shoot this. Wow, this is a shitty spawn. I don't even spawn in with any ammo, no money, nothing. Where is the mystery box? There's gotta be... Of course, it's over here where all the zombies are. Oh, no, it's down here. I need a gun. So, have you ever heard of cloud seeding before all this stuff started, all the flooding? Or have you ever heard of it, brother? If you're away from your phone because it's charging, it's fine. You don't need to answer right now. What team am I on? Okay, that's the team I'm on. Oh, we won. You've never heard of cloud seeding? Yeah, I'm not a scientist, so I don't 100% know how it works, but it they fly a plane up there and they drop certain chemicals. I think it's lead, and is one of the chemicals. And if you look at videos on like TikTok and stuff, they are actually, it makes the water blue, apparently. So let's see, let's get double tap, and I'll get quick revive next. So obviously you're not supposed to absorb lead, right? That's not a mineral humans are supposed to like ingest. So it's really, I don't really think it's healthy. It's not healthy water by any means. It's just not healthy. So it's a whole thing about people ask, like, should we be cloud seeding? It does have its purpose because of all the floods. We didn't get, my team didn't pick it up in time. That sucks. Because like parts of the country are in a drought almost year round, right? Like parts of Texas, which is the whole reason why they cloud seed. Trying to think what other hope. Just kill 55 zombies. That's it. That's all you want me to do. So, I'm just talking about that because that used to be a conspiracy, but it's been like confirmed. It's just common knowledge now for the most part. If you pay attention to the news and stuff, it's all over the news. Wish my teammates would come in here and help. That'd be nice, huh? Oh, didn't win that one. That's not good. Now I got abominations attacking. Whoa, hello. Of course, I'm doing like hardly no damage. Also, oh, here we go. I got a little conspiracy for you. So, this is a Rothschild type of conspiracy. It also has to do with the Civil War and Russia and Europe. So this is a interesting conspiracy because so the Rothschilds they were in the late 1800s they were trying to make a one united currency, that a currency that they themselves control. And so the Rothschilds are big rich family bankers that are based out of Europe, at least at the time. Not 100% sure where they're at now, but that's where they used to be. So they were trying to make a one world currency. So this is kind of where the whole one world government type thing comes from. Get 60 critical kills. It all starts from the Rothschilds, right? So the Rothschilds, they, oh gosh, this is not good. Not good. Not good at all. I ran out of ammo. Hold on. I'm getting distracted because things are not looking... Oh, here we go. Thank you. That will help. I don't think those kills count. I think they need to be inside this area. Reload the gun, please. Alright. So, the Rothschilds, they're European bankers, and also, I'm not, I'll say that second conspiracy next, because it's kind of wild, because it doesn't make any sense to me, but, alright, so, how this conspiracy goes is the Rothschilds were making a one world currency, right? And Russia decided to get out of this currency and make their own currency, right? So they did this before the Civil War. Well, the Rothschilds did not like this, right? And Abe Lincoln thought that was a good... Oh no, this is some BS. Abe Lincoln thought that's a good idea, that America should have our own currency and not be reliant on this European banking family. So, this is not why the Civil War started. We all know why the Civil War started. So we're not going to talk about that. But the Rothschilds, they lost Russia, but they still had Europe. So, and they were about to lose America, or at least they're going to lose the South if the North wins. Because Abe Lincoln comes out with the greenbacks, which, how am I about to be kicked when I'm frozen? What is going on here? What is this guy doing? Okay, dude. Whatever. Leave me alone. I get you're cool. So the Rothschilds decided to support the South. And knowing Russia, knowing that they're supporting the South, and that Abe Lincoln is trying to get away from the currency that is backed by the Rothschilds after they already got out of it, they decided to support the South. And so Russia, finding out about that, they actually sent ships to kind of like barricade the borders around the U.S. coast, and so barricading using their ships, and using these ships to barricade. The reason why they were trying to barricade is the Rothschilds were trying to use British, French, and Germany to send troops and supplies and aid to the South. And you can actually find it if you delve deep enough that the British and the French did support the South, because that's big money, right? Did they really need the South? No, because they had their they had their colonies, but it's still big money to have cotton coming from the South, right? So there is evidence of that. The conspiracy side of it comes from the real reason why was actually not because they supported slavery, but because the Rothschilds supported the South. because you can actually go just YouTube or Google that the Russians sending a barricade of ships to the U.S. coast in support of the North during the Civil War. You can actually find pictures of it. So that in itself is not a conspiracy, because that is true. It's all about the Rothschilds. That's what the conspiracy side of it comes from. Sorry, I know that took me a long time to say. I repeat myself a lot. But that's because I'm getting distracted playing Call of Duty. I need to focus on two things. This so I don't die, and the story. Alright, so let's now talk about tie in, let's go with that. Now let's tie that in to World War II. So the Rothschilds, they are a Jewish family. That is, that's just a fact. They are. So that's why this conspiracy doesn't make much sense to me. Why? They would, but they actually supported the Nazis. Like they gave money to the Nazis to support them. Oh my gosh, that was close. I almost died there. Which is just wild to me, because why would you send money to a group that is killing the same people that believe in the same stuff as you? It doesn't make much sense to me. But there's apparently proof that they did send money and supported the Nazis financially, which is just strange to me. But it's a whole one world government. They want control. They want the power. They want to rule the world. Oh! Have you ever heard of the Georgia Guidestones? This one's kind of interesting. So the Georgia Guidestones, they were built by this builder. We do know who the builder was. We just don't know who paid him to build it. Not even the builder knows who paid him to build it. So this group of people apparently went up to this builder and asked him to build this big stone monument that has rules that are supposed to apparently help society advance and survive. One of them in particular that I can remember from the top of my head is there should not be more than 500 million people in the world. We're over 8 billion in for the population right now. So already, per the Georgia Guidestones, we are overpopulated. There's also a bunch of other rules that we're supposed to follow based off of these guidelines. A bunch of non-humanitarian, like, bad stuff. Stuff that everyday people would not support. But anyways, so how the story goes is the builder is approached by this man. The man does not say his real name. The man does not say what organization he works for. He doesn't say any of that stuff. He just says, this is what I want you to build, and I will pay you money to do so. And so the guy's like, okay, sure, I guess I'll do it. He pays them the money and he builds the Georgia Guidestones. Well, a few years ago, the Georgia Guidestones were actually blew up. Somebody set up explosive devices on the Georgia Guidestones and blew it up. So it is no longer standing. I think they were up for about like 50 years or so, and apparently there was also a time capsule underneath it. They never opened up the time capsule, which is kind of suspicious, right? It's kind of, why would they not open up the time capsule? I don't trust that. What is in the time capsule? Or at least if they did open it, I never heard of them opening it. So they could have, but I doubt it. Yeah, so there's the Georgia Guidestones. You should, next time when I actually do talk about it, like I did about the cryptids today, I'll do a little bit more research so I can actually tell you the full story of the Georgia Guidestones instead of just like off the top of my head, because I'm obviously forgetting a lot of details. Trying to think what else. Oh, the whole reason why I've came across that conspiracy, it's actually from a guy at work about how the Rothschilds supported the Nazis. I was just talking about, it's interesting. I understand why Iran does not like America because of the stuff we've done to them. The stuff that the CIA in particular has done to them. Which we can go deeper into that at another point. I need to do research to... So I have a lot of opinions and ideas about stuff because I did research on it in the past, and I don't remember quite what the research said, but I remember the conclusion I landed on, if that makes sense. It's like if you type up a paper on a certain subject for school, right? And you might not remember like the story of what you typed up, but you remember the conclusion. You remember certain key details about it, you know, but you might not remember all the details of how you got to that conclusion. But anyways, so we can always talk about that later on. If you want, just let me know, and I'll and that's something we can talk about, is how some of the stuff the CIA did in the Middle East and how they ruined a lot of countries due to some of the stuff that they did. So, anyways, I was talking to the guys one of the guys at the station. I was like, it's just so strange how Iran supports China when, oh dang it, when China, oh I might be dead here, when China in fact, yep, when China in fact themselves commit mass genocide on Islamic populations in Western China. It's strange to me that that Iran, who is, wow, that was stupid of me, who is primarily Islamic and ruled by an Islamic leader, supports China. It doesn't. It's like, um, what would I? It's it's like you're ingesting poison on purpose type thing, right? I understand the enemy of my enemy is my friend type thing, but it's still they're committing mass genocide because China, how they view stuff, the leader is supreme leader. There's nothing else. So they commit mass genocide on these Muslims in Western China, and Iran supports them. And I said, it Israel was not formed until after World War II. I don't know if you know that, but they weren't formed until after World War II. And I said, it doesn't make much sense because it would be like Israel supporting the Nazis. The Nazis that are killing all of these Jews. And that's when he talked about how the Rothschilds, who was a Jewish family, supported the Nazis. Which is sad, if that is true. That you're willing to hold profits over your core religious beliefs, over the God you believe in. To me, that's just sad. Makes no sense. You're literally throwing your beliefs in the trash for power and money. But that's assuming that's true. Which it could be. The guy at the station could have been telling the truth. But I certainly hope not. Because that's just very sad. What time is it? Alright, it's only 11:17. It's not too late yet. I gotta wake up at about 8:30 so I can head out to haul hay. So, can't stay up too late. Quit shooting me. Leave me alone. But if there's anything I say and it doesn't make sense and you want me to do more research on it so I can prove what I'm saying, let me know and I'll be happy to do that. If you want, after this game, I can just go on it and do a little bit of research, right? Quick, down and dirty, quick research, and then eventually do like a little short segment on my conspiracy section or cryptid section of my stream. So let me tell me what sounds more interesting to you. The should I do the cryptids of Appalachia next stream? Like I said, I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the next time I get off work. But should I do that or should I do part 2 of Texas Cryptids? What would you like to hear about? Would you like more Texas or would you like to hear more oh my gosh, my team sucks. They're dying on round 4. Appalachia has some pretty good cryptids. I think for the most part, I hit most of, if not all, of the big famous ones of Texas. Did another dude go down? Are you kidding me? You asshole. Just stole my kills. But that's also the game, right? Wow, I got 1 kill. I just need to stand right in front of him, so I can't let him get any kills. Go pack a punch my shotgun, I think. Probably part 2. Okay. Yeah, I'll do part 2 then. I'll look to see how long that will take. If it will be if that would be quick or not. If it will be a short, if there's, oh, what the, that's kind of cool. If there's only like 4 there's a lot more cryptids, but if there's only like 4, whenever I do like, if I need to do like 2 parts of Florida, right, or like 1.5 parts, I might do like another state on top of it. But there's plenty of cryptids I can tell. Oh, so the Llorona story that I told with the mom drowning her 2 children, that's not really a cryptid. That's really a scary story. So I could also do some of those type things too. If you want, I can also tell some like scary stories. I'm also asking you this because I'm trying to like figure my way through this whole thing, because someday, if I actually am able to start having time to do so, I think it'd be cool to have a little podcast, and if I do good enough at this, I might be able to do like a little segment on that podcast of different cryptids and stories and conspiracies, you know? I think that'd be cool. But I don't know how I'm about to be kicked. I've been shooting. I feel like quick revive is really good for grief, so that way I can pick up my teammates quicker. Alright, what is it? Melee kills. What? It would be nice if that was an instant kill. I am lagging. Yeah? That's true. Yeah, I was just really using that as a like example of like can do other stories like that. Not just of Texas stories, but like other stories from a... Oh, dang it. Like other parts of the country have stories. Like Llorona. That's if it will let me buy it. Trying to remember what is that other scary story called? The Boo Hag. Now this one creeps me out in particular because I get sleep paralysis, and this is a sleep paralysis story. So how it goes is there is a so it usually starts slow. So and stories around this usually start where the person I can't remember if it's typically a man or if it's always a man. But the Boo Hag, it will you're sleeping and you'll wake up in like a sleep paralysis where you can't move, and out in the corner there is a woman, and then eventually you wake up, and then in the next one she's closer, she moves closer. Every day she moves closer, and eventually she'll sit on your chest. And when she sits on your chest, oh gosh. Eventually, when she's sitting on your chest, she will actually like suffocate you to the point where you cannot breathe, and you eventually will die over time, and every day it will get worse and worse, the pressure of it pushing down on your chest, from her walking in through the door the first time and standing there watching you, getting closer and closer, eventually crawling on your bed, then sitting on your chest. Then when she's sitting on your chest, she's pushing down pressure and not allowing you to be able to breathe. That one is creepy to me. Sometimes it makes me not want to go to bed. Did we win that one? Oh, thank you. Thank goodness. So I can find those type scary stories and tell them. I love scary stories. Oh, there's a fire sale. I wonder if anybody's buying shit over here. Probably. I only got one gun, so I would like to try to get a spin at it. See if I'm able to make it in time. Looks like everybody else is hitting it. Come on, let me hit. Oh man, got here just in time. Oh, cool. Skateboard. That was a bit of a waste. Got it before you did, sucker. Do you have any stories that I should read about or watch a YouTube video about that I might not know about that's part of your heritage? Oh, I'm supposed to be meleeing him. Dang it. Oh yeah, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna die if I do that. I might just die in general. Oh, dang it. Really? I had max plates in too. Well, so much for getting that perk I was trying to get. Lovecraftian stuff. Cthulhu, yeah. What just happened? Oh, my weapon swaps. That's interesting. Huh, I haven't had this grief yet. Oh, it just swaps between a pistol and that sniper every time? Well, that sucks. Yeah, I'm definitely... Yeah. So, if you like that type of stuff, you should look at Creepcast on, they do their stuff on YouTube and on Spotify, where they read horror stories and stuff. Oh, perfect. Where they read these stories, that, um, that people write. Wow, I got left with this, so I completely lost my shotgun. That's cool. So it's two guys, Wendigoon, who on his YouTube channel he primarily does conspiracies. He does some scary stories and stuff. Kind of like what we're talking about. And then he also will he does a lot of different podcasts and stuff. Anyways, so they will read stories from Reddit, from what is that called? I'm trying to remember what that specific style of horror stories are called. Oh yeah, I figured that. Stories like Sunderman type things, type stories, but they do really good. They read really good stories. They read some bad stories, because they actually will take in whatever their subscribers Good grief, my mind is blanking right now really bad. All right, I'm going to start over. So Creepcast, they read stories from the internet. They're horror stories, such as Slenderman and some stories that are similar to Lovecraftian. So Wendigoon is one of the guys, and Meat Canyon or Papa Meat, whichever one you know him by. Meat Canyon is the one that does a bunch of those crazy animations that you might watch with uh, like the Travis Kelce. I don't know if you watch football, but the one animation that I can think of is where Travis Kelce is gonna break up with Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift and all of her fans turn into monsters and try and rip Travis Kelce apart. He does a lot of those type of animations, real creepy animations. And so they will read stories. Here, I'm just going to pull up their podcast on my phone so I could tell you some of the stories, since my mind is blanking really bad right now. Alright, so like their newest one is called Fleshgate. I haven't heard that one yet. I worked at a half-price voodoo shop, that's pretty cool. I don't know if you ever saw Gravity Falls, but that story is kind of like Gravity Falls. Camp Oakwood, The Sun Vanished, which is a ARG on Twitter. If you don't know what an ARG is, it's where you go to Twitter and you follow along these storylines, and you actually can interact a little bit. So like they'll post a poll where should I go to this place or should I stay? And the viewers that are reading these stories will actually vote stay or go, which is pretty cool. Baraska is a big one, but I will warn you, the ending is graphic. But I don't want to spoil it if you don't know what that one is. Really good story though. Spire in the Woods is a really good one. This one's interesting because it was actually, there's a whole thing about that. So it was going to be turned into a movie. And so when the studio bought the rights to the story that was written back in like 2015 or something like that, they actually wiped all of the evidence of it online. And if you did a YouTube video about it, they would. I don't even watch. Yeah, no joke. He's in everything. Every commercial. I do not like the Chiefs. I do not like Travis Kelce. I do not like any of that. They are really annoying. Which, that's kind of why I like that video. It's funny. Because Travis Kelce is so annoying and arrogant. Oh, I don't like him. Anyways, so Spire in the Woods, so everybody would get copyright striked, and this movie just never got developed. It was in the early stages of development, but never actually got developed, and so everybody was upset about that, right? Because you're not able to post a YouTube video on it, can't even talk about it without getting in trouble. So. But they read the story, which they had to use the Wayback Machine to go back in time online to be able to do it, to be able to read it, because it's just not posted anymore. I wrote myself a letter, I got a response. That's an interesting one. Let's see, which other one did I really like? The pigeons around here aren't real. That one's kind of interesting. But yeah, if you like kind of like spooky, scary stories, Creepcast is a good one. Like they do Lovecraftian type stories every now and again. Okay, what time is it? I probably should get off. since I gotta wake up tomorrow and got a big day tomorrow. And I gotta get a few things ready before we leave tomorrow. Master of Grief, what is this? Didn't even let me look at it. Oh, now I'm in first. It's not even letting me look at the rewards. Oh my goodness, this is annoying. Let me look at this though. Maybe if I go to multiplayer, maybe it will load. Nope. It's not gonna work. Alright. Well, I think I'm gonna get off. I need to go to bed. Alrighty. Good night. Thanks for watching. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.